Greetings! It is a voice from the past. This will probably be the first video I've posted on my channel in a while, so I do apologize for that. Welcome to Trusty Huckster Mercantile. I'm Patrick, and I'm still the Trusty Huckster. I just haven't been doing as much with my channel as I would like, but I am hoping that that will change. One thing, if you notice what's going on behind me, I have new digs. I got married, and you might have seen a couple of videos when I was working on Scott's channel at Old Curiosity Shop. I had just books in the background. Those were my husband's books. And we just recently got new bookshelves installed in his office so that I could have this office, and moved all those books. And suddenly I have a place for all my collections. So not everything survived the move, but I did bring a lot. So I'm probably going to do a video to highlight some of the things there, because there are some additions since the last time I showed all of that. But the reason I'm doing a video tonight is I want to do a preview video, because on Monday, October 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will once again be on Scott's channel at the Old Curiosity Shop for a live sale for Unbreakables. And as the name suggests, everything we will be selling will be unbreakable. So I started digging around. I'm getting to a point now where I feel like my inventory is dropping. I still have some stuff. I still have some sealed boxes. I need to do a video. I've bought things years ago at an ephemera auction that I still haven't even opened. So I might be doing some unboxing videos. I do hope to put some content out, and I want to put content out that isn't just about selling. That's not what this channel was ever supposed to be about. So hopefully there'll still be some educational things, and there'll still be things that you can learn. But for now, it is a simplistic video. I'm going to go through some things relatively quickly to just showcase items that I will be offering for sale on Monday's Sale with Scott. So as we start things off, we've got these two surprisingly heavy, I believe, wood boxes, eggs. They do not open. They are not boxes. There's a box that just tipped over against my leg, and that's what made me think of it. So they are kind of have an African motif. It's got, it looks like it's just been painted on the bottom, and then the decoration painted on top of that. It doesn't look like it's decoupage. It doesn't look like it's anything applied. It's not enameled. It's not coated. You can see on the bottom of both of them, you can see a hole that they were carved, or they're hollow on the inside. You can see on the edge that appears, because I'm going to say appears, this is wood, and it's some type of wood that makes it really heavy. So I've got a pair of these decorative objects. You know, I thought, oh, they're eggs, I should keep them for Easter, but I really don't think you're putting these out for Easter. So this would just add to your autumnal decor, because you've got this lovely little brown motif, Africa or not, some cool decor with some nice autumn color tones. Another item, oops, there's something in here. Another item, this is actually for my personal collection. But I did pick this up with the intention of eventually selling it. It is a box that probably once upon a time was silver plated. You can see on the bottom that there is still some sort of a plating on there. The rest of this is the base metal that I think was worn through. Now, normally if it's worn through, you can see where it was, and you can kind of see that a little bit on the edges. So there's the really dark metal, and then you still see a little bit of the shiny silver. So it once upon a time, silver plate, it's got cool, I don't know if you still call it a patina, but it's got a dragon on it. So how cool is that? And it's just a little hinged box that I have upside down. Oops. So it's just a little hinged box, wooden box, repoussé design on the top, which means this was put, a flat piece of metal was put on a mold, and then it was either hammered, I don't see hammered, or it was pressed into the mold to make that design. And so you can see the reverse of that design on the back side. So cool little item, and that is going to be up for sale as well. Now I will do a precursor. I do have more items than I think I'll have time to sell. So not everything I show tonight will probably be part of the sale, but if you join the sale and you know you wanted something I showed, just let me know and I'll make sure it's part of the sale. So this one, I will admit, I haven't decided how I'm going to sell this, because what I have, I might do my first choice. I don't normally do choice because I find it very distracting and it slows up a live sale. But what I have are 3 what are they? Ashton Drake. So everyone, let's remember. Yeah, Ashton Drake. So let's all remember the 90s. So we've got 3 bridal dolls. So you've got this one. You've got this one, which sits on a little bench. So she's actually a seated doll. And you have this one. Now, I'll try and get their stories straight because there is a story. These are mother, daughter, and granddaughter dolls in, you know, the doll world. So the seated one is Betsy. So Beth from 1960. Let's see if I can figure out who some of the other ones are. Betty is from the 1930s. So I think this is the oldest one. So this is the mother. So this is the big Victorian huge gown. And the idea behind this dolls, and this is for my personal collection, that's the only reason I know all of this. The mother passed the doll down to her daughter, who then did this in around the 1900s. So I think this was like 1870s, this was around 1900, or maybe, I guess this was 1930s. So it's a little bit slimmer with the bustle in the back. So I think that might have still been turn of the century. And then this one is the 1960s. So I need to get the order right, but that was the idea, is it's the same dress that then gets passed down from daughter to daughter, who then redoes the dress in her own style. My original thought is I'd like to sell them as a set because they are kind of cool, but if you don't care about the story, if you don't know the story, they're just 3 dolls that kind of look freakishly similar because literally it's the same dress, just in 3 different styles. So I'm going to do it as choice. I could be talked out of it. I'm going to ask Scott his opinion because I know he does choice on occasion. So those are the 3 Ashton Drake dolls. They have little certificates and stories that go with. I don't know if I got all of them, but I do have those, and those will be probably part of the set. Now I am cheating a little bit because these are porcelain, so they technically would break, but the bulk of it is composite. It's just the face and the hands that are porcelain. And to be perfectly honest, I want to get rid of them because they're really big and they take up a lot of space. I had them in my booth and it takes up like 3 shelves to be able to put these things out. So we're making choices, being necessity is the mother of invention. I made this little box of things that I wanted to grab from everything that's in storage right now. I've sold some of these individually or as like little sets before, and I usually sold them for about $5 a pop. I've decided to just take everything that I've got left and I'm just going to put it into an offer up. What they are, primarily from the 90s, early 2000s, they're old wine labels. So some of them are adhesive on the back, great for scrapbooking, great for, you know, craft projects, whatever you want. There are literally hundreds of them in here. So we'll just see if there's a market for it. I've sold them when I did them as little sets of like 25 or 30. I guess I think I normally sold them for like, maybe I sold sets of 50 for $5 or something like that. They always sold. I just have so many of them, just getting rid of them. Christmas is coming, so if you want a creative way of wrapping up your gifts, you've got the US Mint scent bag. So this one actually has a stamp on it. It says, I think it says 1983. There's a big line that goes through it, but I'm pretty sure that's an 8, not a 6. So I think this is from 1983. But you could just use this as any sort of bag, wrapper, take your lunch, whatever. You've got a bag. I've got a children's book, Mrs. Cinderella, which was actually a General Electric advertisement. I've got a set of books, and I'm going to sell these together just to sell. A couple of them are on duplicates of these are on eBay right now. But I've got 3 books, souvenir booklets from Italy. So I've got Rome, I've got Genoa, and I've got Florence. So they're not technically postcard books, but they're kind of like the postcard books in the sense that they're these, they're what are they called? Accordion folded photographs. So you can't tear them out. You can't turn them into postcards. They are literally souvenir books in Italian. This has 32 photos, 42 photos. This one doesn't say, but that's what the vedute is on the bottom, is number of photographs. So sell those as a set. I found this set of spoons. My intention was to clean them up, but instead you get that joy because these are, actually I have to figure out if they actually say sterling on them, but they are silver. You can see how tarnished they are, but they have a gold vermeil wash across them. And I'm not sure if it's just tarnished, how well these would clean up, but you can see it's kind of like a Scandinavian design set of 6 of these little spoons. So if you can get these cleaned up, or if you like the patina, I just think this would be a great set for, you know, charcuterie board, cocktail party, whatever. You've got these great little tiny spoons, I think would be wonderful. I've got a set of postcards that I'll be offering. I'm just gonna sell these as a set. This one's from 1909. They're all dog themed. So you've got that one. I'll have to figure out the dates on all of these. That one was easy. This one's 1910 because it's postmarked. Just got a postmark on it. Are My Looks Against Me? This one is also used from Kansas. I can't quite read the year, but that one's also been postmarked. All the World Loves a Lover. This one's 1910. I'm Busier Than a Bee. That's a posted one. I believe it says 1910. And then Isn't Love a Grand Old Thing? This one doesn't appear to have been postmarked. So those will go up as a set. Great old black and white dog postcards. I've got an old Christmas, and actually, now that I say this, I meant to look for it. I think I have some Christmas ephemera I'm gonna have to find because I didn't find it in the stack. But I did find this one, which I thought was kind of cool. It is an old Western Union holiday greeting. And what I don't really know my Western Union history. So this is from 1939. It looks like it was a telegram, but then the telegram got put into an envelope and then somehow that was mailed because it has a stamp on it, but there is a postmark on there that shows December 26, 1939. There's a stamp on it. I just think this is a cool piece of Christmas ephemera that would make for a great vintage Christmas display because I don't know how many of those you're going to come across. I got some other ephemera. These are cereal cards that came from General Mills, I think it was. I don't know what these say. But I had hundreds of these of different style, and I'm trying to make sets of them. These were the Toy Town sets. And you can see, if you look really closely, it's a cutout of a house. Now, this entire card is maybe 4x7 or 4x8. So if you cut that out and then fold that house down, it's going to be pretty small. But it is Toy Town. So I don't know if you were supposed to somehow magnify that. These I think were from the 60s. I guess Xerox existed. Could you make that larger and trace it onto a bigger piece of paper? I don't really know. But there's a whole series of these. So there's that one. And they're all the same concept. They just all have these tiny little buildings on them. And then you cut them out, fold them up, paste them together, and you have a little play town for your tabletop, basically. So you can have all these different buildings. So I thought that was kind of fun. I've got an I took down the locked case in my booth because I changed booths. So this is from the 1936 Democratic National Convention from New York. So I'm gonna offer that. And I think there's another piece of a military ephemera that I want to do. I'm gonna add it with this. I think that, if I remember correctly, that little flag is for family members that have a family member in the military. So I think it's a pin, an old pin. And then I've also got a rhinestone flag pin. I also have an old poster from the Navy that I think we're gonna combine those together and make those into a mixed lot. So I forgot to grab the poster, so I'll have to go find that, but I'll make that available tomorrow night or Monday night. So you have to watch in order to see the poster. Jury's still out whether I actually include this one or not, because I think that's technically snow. So I think this is a Christmas tin, but I don't know. You have to ask me. This is looking kind of creepy. I think this looks kind of Halloween-y. And unfortunately, it was sitting in boxes from storage, so I missed it to put out in my booth for Halloween. So that may not be a primary piece, but I do think it's just an old tin. It does have a cool design to it. Could be Christmas, could be Halloween, could be Easter if you really want to be creative. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. Found a couple old bank books. So I've got the Union Bank in Altoona, Pennsylvania. This one is from 1917. And then I've got a smaller one, which I thought was kind of cute. It's a tiny little bank book, and this one is from 1932, the American National Bank in Nashville, Tennessee. So odd little piece. I would probably just sell them as a lot. Maybe I'll do choice because I don't know if you need 2 bank books, but old ephemera, especially small things like this that you could just prop up, make great for little vintage vignette editions. I've got a whole stack. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll combine these military items. I've got military matchbook covers. So this is from the U.S. Merchant Marine Cadet Basic School. So they're weird because, you know, once upon a time they would have been folded, but this was from somebody's collection. So they've actually pressed these. All of these have been flattened out, but they're definitely, I think they were used. So I don't think these are like new old stock because they all have the glue and then these already have the strikers on them. But there's some cool military seals on here. That's Camp Atterbury, Joseph. We got Pendleton, so California. Got a whole set of those. So we'll do something with that. I've got an old tea tin, a Tetley tea bag tin. That's for my personal collection. I've got some goofy childhood memories. I'm so happy. Who remembers Droopy? And then also California raisins. Let's see, this one's actually still in its packaging from Zare. I was just talking to Raj about Zare. I don't think he had that when he grew up. Zare was a kind of like a Target. So this is still new old stock, still in his blister pack. And let's see, he's a wind-up toy, actually. Nasta. This had to have been 80s. Does it say? 1987. There we go. So I'm just going to do those as 2 goofy childhood things. And then the only thing I've got here is a set of, and again, these are from my personal collection, a set of vintage calling cards. And these are the ones that have the elaborate pen and ink drawings around the names. So these I had laid out on a tray in my house. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to be selling the tray, and now I'm going to be selling the cards. So again, these are for my personal collection. They're pristine condition. They're beautiful. Hand curated these, so I'll probably be selling them for less than I paid for them, but that's okay. I want them to go to a good home, and I will just put them together and make that part of the sale. So that's it. I've got a book that I need to clean up, so we'll see if that gets included or not. Because we only really get to do about a dozen items depending on how things sell, and if I do that choice one, that could take it a little bit longer. So I think that's more than a dozen items. So we'll see what all makes a sale. But if you made it this far, thanks for watching the video. I hope that means you still want to see content from me, and so I will do other videos. I promise. I just don't know when. But you know, I've gotten married. Honeymoon is in December, so I've still got some things. We've got our wedding reception. Honeymoon is in December. Our wedding reception is in November. So there's still other things I'm trying to work with. And plus, I've got a full-time job that right now is absolutely insane. Our biggest competitor just went out of business. So suddenly, like, yay me, I've got more business than I can handle, but it makes for very long days. But I want to find time because this is a release. This is something I enjoy doing, and I do want to do videos. I'm trying to convince Raj to do some videos with me about just some of the history and things that he knows. There might be some insect videos since he's an entomologist. You never know what we're going to get when we talk to Raj. But that is my video. That is my preview. I will be, again, on Monday, October 27th. I will be at Scott's channel, the Old Curiosity Shop, 8 p.m. Eastern. We usually run for about 2 hours. He will have some amazing things on offer as well. And hope you can join us. Thanks so much for your time. Thanks for putting your trust in Trusty Huckster. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.